Two things can be true at once, but not these two things. Some people love to say that racism is over, so we should just stop talking about it. But a significant number of James Tallarico voters voted for him, not for policy reasons, but because they were concerned that Texas voters would not vote for a Black woman. Again, not for policy concerns, but because she is a Black woman. Two things can be true at once, but not these two things.
If we're being honest, all the right-wingers would support everything that leftists want to do, universal health care, higher wages, etc., if they lived in a homogenous white country. They just don't want that stuff because they feel like minorities are going to get it. And yeah, and that's also my theory as to why the Scandinavian countries have successfully implemented all that social democratic stuff and why we can't, in more diverse countries, can't. It's because people are racist.
You haven't gotten a wall. You haven't had the swamp drained. You haven't gotten cheaper gas prices, cheaper grocery prices. Childcare's not more affordable. The war in Ukraine hasn't ended. You were promised no new wars, but we're in one. You haven't gotten your $5,000 Doge check. You haven't seen all of the files. You haven't seen arrest from the files. Some people would say you just got tricked, but I don't think that that's the case. I don't think it was ever about any of those things. What you have gotten that you wanted was the ability to feel connected to a large group of people that now feel comfortable outwardly expressing racism, misogyny, and prejudice at every turn. You're now able to be loud with your hate and comfortable in your day-to-day life expressing your hate of other people, your hatred of other people and other people's lifestyles that don't align with yours. And to the people of color that support this, you think you're different. You think you're a hardworking Christian American and you're not the stereotypical person of color, and you want to separate yourself from those people because you're different. You think you're better than they are. You've worked hard. You aren't living off the government. You're married to your children's mother. But we had a Black family in the White House that was educated, had been working every single day of their adult lives, that were Christian, raising their children to be good humans, and white people still didn't accept them. These people that you're trying to be in a club with laughed at a video of them depicted as monkeys. It was never about the economy. It was never about family values. It was always about a majority of white Americans that felt like their lifestyles were being threatened by diversity. We are not safer in our country right now. We are not wealthier. We are not healthier. Our children are not thriving. This was always about being loud and proud about the people that you would not allow to sit at your table. And now you have that comfort of knowing that 51% of Americans voted and support the same hatred that you do. This is not what I want my account to be, but more people that look like me need to stand up and say something. My kids will know that no matter how white and middle class and average their lives are, that does not make them better than anyone else. And that we can disagree on economic policy. We can disagree on how we personally want to live our lives, but how other people live their lives, as long as it does not infringe upon our rights or affect the way that we live ours, it's none of our business.
Oh my God. I love it when Black American silence is sending a shockwave to these people. I love it. Like, I literally love it. Whenever Black Americans, decide to stay silent, all this while they have been speaking. And now that they have decided to stay silent, it looks like that's when their message is not getting into them. I love it. Please keep it up. Please do not change from this. The silence is better. It's literally better. So they now want that community. They now want that togetherness. They now want Black Americans to come speak. See, whoever brought the thought about silence, resting to Black Americans, that person deserves a gold medal because, yeah, for decades you guys have been speaking, campaigning, protesting, doing all the seed work, sowing the seeds. Right now, it's time for harvest. Silence. I love it. Anyway, guys, I have other clips for you guys. I'm just going to let it roll. Then I come back with more commentary. Do what to like and subscribe. And credit belongs to original creators of these videos. Let's go watch.
People voted because their life's too damn expensive, and it was here, and it
they voted for. You're telling me, Stephanie, that all of these people who believe that their lives are, that bread is too high and eggs are too high, that they voted for a convicted fella, a guy who said we can grab the pea.
I think that a lot
They
of
voted for this
listen,
guy.
I'm not defending it, but I think there are tons of people that don't pay attention to, and I'm not defending it, don't pay attention to politics at all. But while we live in the most prosperous country in the world, people are saying life's not fair, I'm not doing well, my son's still living in the basement, I can't seem to get a job, I don't like the status quo, I'm voting for something else, and he was
I
the person.
love you to life,
I love you,
but I do not believe that. I cannot believe that. And the reason I think you believe it is because you don't want to believe that that's what's really motivating them. It's always the case. People don't want to believe what the country actually is, because if they believe it, they're going to have to confront what's in them. I don't believe that. They voted for a crook, a person who they know is stealing from, just doing everything to undermine the so-called country that they love. And then they're telling us the BS that it's economics. We know that's not true. We know it's not true, and we got to raise our kids in this.
Racism is America's chronic disadvantage, not only for this conflict, but it's the reason that this empire will fall and never recover. America is only about 250 years old, which in the grander scheme of things is relatively young. Countries like Iran/Persia, Japan, China, even some European countries like France and Germany have been around for millennia, and they have had their ebbs and flows, their ups and downs. But the reason that they always recover is because they can unite around a shared identity. America does not have that privilege.
The United States will only improve as a country once white people become a minority. Last year, my book club read this book, Dying of Whiteness. In this book, the author, Jonathan Metzl, thoroughly maps out how white Americans impede the progress in the United States by voting against their own interests because of racism. And for me, the chapter on healthcare showed this the most. So the author did two focus groups of white men and black men. And I want to show you the disparity of the things that the white men said versus the group of black men. So these are the opinions of a man who claims that he would be dead without Medicaid and the VA. In speaking about government funding healthcare, he goes, no government, no way. He had a problem with Obamacare because it's just a form of socialism, communism, or something like that. Whenever the author mentioned healthcare expansion in reform or the Affordable Care Act, these men would voice anxieties about the use of health and economic resources by irresponsible, lazy, and often racialized others. One man who has had 5 heart attacks and claims that his antibiotics would cost him $700 without help complained about all these people using Obamacare. They have 2 or 3 doctors and just use the shit out of it. And then when somebody really needs it, they ain't there for you to get. What really pisses me off is that we are pocketing all the Mexicans, all the illegal motherfuckers, their houses, their cars, their food stamps, everything they want, we're paying for it. You cannot utilize food stamps or welfare if you're an undocumented immigrant. I could share a lot more, but let's move on to the black men. The author states that whereas white men thought about them, black men thought about us. One black man said, in a country as big as ours, I don't see why we can't have affordable health insurance for everybody. I'm all for it. Another one said, Obamacare makes it easier for us to get insurance and also get a doctor, and poor people benefit. When talking about the government, this is what 2 black men had to say. It's the responsibility of the government to protect the citizens from entrepreneurs. The vegetables and the fruits that we eat are covered with pesticides, and so someone has to protect the citizenship. The government's role is to make sure that people who are trying to get that extra buck don't kill us in the process. And something very important that the author stated, black men were unburdened by ideologies of supremacy or the invective of fallen greatness. When black men were asked who benefits from the ACA, their response was everybody. And so anyone looking at this country right now wondering why is it such a shit show? It's a shit show because of uneducated, insecure, and bootlicking European Americans.
See, the only reason why a whole lot of these people are coming out to talk about, oh, this happened, this is happening, why they're trying to gaslight black Americans is because they are feeling the impact of who they place into office, the impact of their vote. That's it. If this whole voting system didn't happen, let's say the person they voted into power started performing better and it was favoring them so well and there was no issues, you won't see any of them complain. You won't see them come out to complain. The only reason why they are complaining is because they are literally feeling the impact. They are feeling exactly what you guys have been telling them was going to happen. That's why you're seeing them come out and cry out and talk about it. If not, none of them will come out to speak. That's why you're seeing them cry over it, crying over spilled milk, because this is just a spilled milk. What again are you talking about? The only reason Black Americans have chosen to be silent because they marched and came out in full force. 92%. The men came out in full force as well and voted for the right person for you all. And you guys said, no, that's not who we want. We actually want our clansman. And now you have your clansman and his policies are coming, knocking at your doorstep. No food, lower groceries that they promise you guys. You're not getting any of that. They promise you guys from day one, you're going to start having no tax on overtime, and you guys were literally rejoicing. And they told you, oh, you're going to buy eggs for maybe $1, or you're going to buy gas, 3 baby drill. You're going to buy gas for maybe $1. At the end of the day, right now, how much is the price of gas? Like, all the promises that was made to you guys is promises not kept, and that's why most of you are literally shouting on top of your voices. And now you now want the same people that you never wanted to have anything to do with to come out, let's protest, let's march, let's do this. No, that's not how it works, baby. We don't do that here. I love the fact that Black Americans have decided to stay silent and just watch. Let's go for their party, let's do that cookout, let's just organize, just keep organizing, having fun, put our money in the Black community. That's exactly what it's supposed to be for, because Black Americans, they have literally sown in other communities. They have given so much to other people that doesn't even deserve it, other than giving to themselves. Right now, they have decided to give to themselves, drop their Black dollar in the Black community, and it's becoming a problem. You guys want them to give so in your community. What does that even make them? I love the fact that you guys have decided to stay silent, because they say silence is a virtue. You never know how much, a virtue silent is until you start practicing silent. And you guys, if you notice, since Black Americans have decided to stay silent, you could literally feel it, that is the highest impact they've made for a very long time. Because all this while they have been protesting, nobody came calling them out. The gaslights were not there. Now they have decided to stay silent. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, you guys cannot be silent. Oh, we love Black people. They have always, oh, we need Black people to come out and speak for us. We need them to come and do this. So now you know their importance, because what, my friend? Because you are going through your own thing. Okay, so the only reason why they're trying to gaslight Black folks is because they are feeling the impact of the person they placed in power. That's it. And when Black people were shouting that this is what they're going through, they are, going through a lot of things, you guys were like, oh, that doesn't happen. We don't feel it from over here. Now you're feeling it from over here. You want them to come and cry for you from over there. Allow them stay where they are. Black folks, God, I love it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you're thinking in comments. Let's talk about it. And credit belongs to original creators of these videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop your one take in the comments. And I'll see you all on my next. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. See you all next time.